Have you ever wondered why people act a certain way, why follow a trend or a certain cause? Well, if you have, that is called collective behavior. This is a broad term that describes the way people act in crowds, social movements, and in mass behavior. What these three have in common is that they can be very unpredictable and bring change as well as dangerous and irrational actions. Unlike the other relationships in our lives, these can be with strangers for a short period of time. Collective behavior can be exclusive to a small group of people like gossip or dispersed like a fashion trend.
A crowd is a group of people who get together temporarily. Being in this group can affect your behavior. A crowd can be categorized into 4 types. The first type of crowd is the casual crowd, which is one of the most common. People tend to have very little interaction and aren't willing to help each other to avoid attention. An example of this can be dozens of people on the subway. The second type of crowd is the expressive crowd, which is when people gather together due to relatable reasons and has some emotional appeal to people. This could be a basketball game or a funeral. The third type of crowd is the acting crowd. These crowds tend to have a political or social goal in mind. These crowds can sometimes be aggressive. This is an example of an acting crowd, a protest, but social movements such as protests and mobs can have the opposing effect and bring positive change. The fourth and final type of crowd is the conventional crowd. This is when people get together for a specific event. In these crowds, people follow a specific norms that are considered appropriate. An example of this is the crowd of students in a classroom. How we act in these crowds can differ depending on the place and people we are with.
The second type is mass behavior. This is displayed by a group of people who are dispersed in various places but communicate through mass media, such as the internet, which is one of the sources that has made it possible for this behavior to work. The mass behaviors include mass hysteria, fads, public opinion, panic, rumors, gossip, and fashion. Rumors and gossip. These are spread by the mouth and are usually not true or spread informally. Having gossip on someone can give them a sense of power. Public opinion. This is a view or opinion that people have on a specific issue. The widespread opinion can have a strong influence on the decision the government makes. Panic and mass hysteria. These are events that make people react in a frantic way. The difference being that during mass hysteria, people don't interact. When people panic, they do. Fashion and fads. These are social patterns that people follow, like music, clothing, and others. The difference is that fads last a short period of time and fashion trends last longer.
The third and final type of collective behavior is social movements. Social movements are shown by people who are trying to resist change to some parts of society. This can be divided into 3 categories: people who seek an alternative in a part of the population, those who seek limited change, but the change would impact all of society, and those who seek to change the whole structure of society. There are a few theories that support the social movement, such as deprivation theory, mass society theory, social concern theory, and structural strain theory. 2 of the most important ones are the deprivation theory and the structural strain theory. The deprivation theory says that social movements are started by people who in some way feel deprived. On the other hand, structural strain theory explains social movements that aim to bring big changes to society and the problems that must occur for this to happen.
So there are many factors that influence how people act, and people are shaped by this and they follow social norms even though sometimes they're not aware that they're doing it. So there's no doubting that society helps us grow and become our true selves or what we want to be.